Welcome to Reporter's Notebook, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the stories breaking on their beats. I'm Jim Antle. I'm joined today by energy and environment reporter Breanne Deppisch. Breanne, the Biden administration is dealing with high gas prices. They've been calling on gas and oil industry to really ramp up production, but then they've done something that kind of seems to be counter to that. What was the announcement by the administration?
Yeah, they made a pretty big announcement late last night or early this morning, depending on when you go to bed. But basically canceling the sale of the auction for three offshore oil and gas drilling sites, two in the Gulf of Mexico and one in Alaska. So that basically takes off the table millions of acres that could have gone, for drilling and for increasing U.S. production.
Mm-hmm. And so this has kind of been considered an unfavorable development for the industry, and it's maybe even a problem for the administration, given the price issue.
Yeah, I would say it's very problematic optics-wise for the administration. It arguably couldn't have come at a worse time because gas prices today hit a record high for the third consecutive day this week. We've been doing lots of stories on that.
Right.
And Biden, as we've talked about in previous weeks, has really sought to deflect as much of that blame as possible. And part of that involves just calling on oil and gas companies to boost production and to be doing more. But companies and industry officials I've spoken to have told me, that they're hard pressed to do that when there's a lot of regulation and other red tape standing in their way.
So at the same time, he's calling for them to ramp up production, and he's calling them out for price gouging, as he describes it. He's sort of making it more difficult for them to heed his request.
Absolutely. I've done a fair amount of reporting in this space, and this has been something that's been going on for months. I believe it was in March, right after the war broke out, early March, that Jennifer Granholm said that the U.S. can walk and chew gum at the same time.
She's the energy secretary.
The energy secretary, yes, can walk and chew gum at the same time, meaning they can pursue both their clean energy agenda and increase production. Turn to gas and other things to reduce Russian dependence, but we really haven't seen much of that at all. And despite Biden's promises to do more at home, those I've spoken to have said there haven't been any overtures. There haven't really been from their perspective, nothing's changed.
So Biden and Democrats more broadly in an election year are kind of caught in between two sort of opposite extremes, where you have climate activists who don't really feel like they're doing enough, and then you have the industry and also consumers paying high prices who feel like production is being hampered and they're doing too much from a regulatory perspective. What's going on? What's the way out for them?
Well, a way out is to be determined, but yeah, there's a lot of different things. And actually, with the oil and gas leases, we've seen some Democrats come on board. Four Texas Democrats wrote a letter to Biden earlier this week asking him to basically put forth a proposal. It's known as like a 5-year program filed by the Department of the Interior that basically outlines plans to do offshore drilling. And also senators have recently backed that as well, including Sinema, Manchin, Kelly, and a few others. So Democrats are joining in that chorus, but it's unlikely we'll see much momentum on that front from more progressive members.
And so a lot of the big ticket initiatives they've wanted from Congress, they haven't been able to get. So they're really looking to the executive branch to do more. And if Democrats don't do well in the midterm elections, they might become entirely dependent on the executive branch.
Absolutely, and it's really worth, you can't really overstate just how important this 5-year program is. It's actually slated to expire in June, and when it does, basically they are going to be caught in this interim period where they can't approve sales for new leases and things of that nature, and basically millions and millions of acres will go untapped, and the American Petroleum Institute recently put out a study that found up to, I believe it was $5 billion of revenue could be lost if the lease program expires and there's nothing in place.
But the White House has never been super enthusiastic about more drilling, or have they been?
They've changed their tune a little bit, but yeah, from an action standpoint, they have done nothing to incentivize it. I can say that much.
But it's Putin's price hike still.
Well, we've we've heard various things, right? I think Democrats on the Hill have embraced the industry is to blame, where
Right.
Biden has repeatedly, turned to Russia and Ukraine and Putin's price hike, that type of. So we're seeing a little bit of divergence on that, but yeah, the common ground, I guess, is that it's not their fault.
No, they're not rushing to fix it, right?
Yes. Oh, I like it.
Thank you, Breanne. You can read Breanne and subscribe to our Daily on Energy newsletter at washingtonexaminer.com.